What's going on? Welcome to Learn to Freestyle. In today's tutorial, we're going to be looking at a different type of old school trick where you combine a Touzani around the world and an AKKA in the air. It's definitely a trick that you don't see a lot of these days, but it's a fun one to try. So if you like the sound of that, please support the channel and this video by dropping a like, subscribing, and also check out my website, learntofreestyle.com. And this is what this trick looks like. Check it out. So straight away, the first thing you want to get good at is Touzani around the world. You need to be able to do this most times and make it look comfortable, because if you try this variation, it might kind of look like you're doing a Touzani in the wrong way. You need to make it look like it's obvious and it's clear that you're taking this extra touch and doing this AKKA type movement in there. So it's very important to focus on your Touzani around the worlds before leading up to practicing this trick. So once you've done that, you're good with the Touzani around the world. You need to work on the finger which makes this trick unique, which is the air AKKA, and you want to practice this on its own. So just touch the ball up, knock it to the side, and then knock it back in, just like you would with an AKKA, but this time it's in the air. So this technique where you're tapping it outwards and then back inwards with your one foot is very important, and you need to get good at this with your foot, your planted foot, still on the ground, because that's where you have control of the ball. Because if you're not used to this and then you go and try the full trick, it can become quite dangerous when your whole body is in the air. So really work on this, just tap it out. You don't have to push it too far away, it just has to be an obvious movement, and really focus on keeping the ball nice and controlled. You even want to try and juggle the ball after you've done it, because essentially that's what you're going to end up doing anyway. So make sure you lead up to doing that. So the next step we're going to do is basically the trick but on the floor. So place the ball on the floor, do an AKKA like you normally would, but this time when you tap it back, you're going to do like a crossover like you would with the Touzani around the world and cross your leg over. And this is just a simple and easy way to get used to the movement with low risk. So you're not going to risk hurting yourself or falling, or you don't have to worry about where the ball is going. You can just get used to moving your leg in that way. You're essentially just going to do this, and then later on you're going to try it in the air. Once you've done that, you can move on to doing the trick but without the Touzani aspect, and you're going to do the air AKKA like you normally would, but this time you're really going to focus on pushing yourself to the side. You're going to exaggerate that movement, and you're going to do a little jump. So you're going to take that touch and then you're going to jump across, and this is when, instead of like knocking it back, you're going to use your toes to try and flick it up, because your crossing leg is already up in the air, it's coming across. So you really need to rely on your toes and flicking up and trying to make that connection there, otherwise it won't work. You don't have to worry about hitting it all the way up high into the air like you normally would with a crossover or anything like that, because it's just not the same technique. You're not going to generate that power. Just make sure that you're getting your leg across and it's coming up a little bit so you can continue juggling. So now that you've mastered that, you've built your way up to it, you can work on the final bit, and it's probably the most riskiest bit, and that's when you add in the around the world. You might have a bit of nerves when doing this, because there's going to be some extra spin on the ball. And this is why, like I said in the beginning, it's important that you get good at Touzanis and around the worlds, just so that you feel comfortable and you don't panic. So what you're going to do, you're going to practice that first touch. You're going to do an around the world like you normally would, but except this time you're going to push it to the side. So you're going to do it like you normally would, but this time you're going to generate a little bit more spin on the ball, and you're going to cut across it and push yourself a little bit to the side. Once you're comfortable with that and you feel ready, you can try the full trick by relying on all the techniques and the steps that we tried before, and you should be ready to do it. Like I said before, it is quite difficult to get a nice high flick on it, so don't worry about that, but it's just a fun, quirky trick that you can try, and you really want to try and exaggerate the AKKA as much as possible. The more you do it, and the more frequent you do it, the better it will look. If you don't do it a lot like I do, it might not look too great, but with time, it will definitely get better and it can be a lot of fun. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope it helped. If it did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and also leave a comment. Let me know which tutorial you'd like to see next. I'll be back again with another video very soon. Until then, take care. Peace out. Thanks for watching.